Yes, it started all back in 2011. My son was graduating from high school. We're doing the traditional prom pictures, graduation pictures, and I saw that person in that picture and I didn't recognize him. And so I knew I had to do something. I was taking meds for high cholesterol. I was having aches and pains that a 47-year-old probably shouldn't have. And so, and I was overweight. I was almost 185 pounds. And when I saw these pictures, either I had to make a choice. Either I was going to just say the hell with it and keep going and end up at 200 pounds, or I was going to make a change. And, luckily for me, I made that change. But when I did it, I figured out the math of Weight Watchers pretty quickly. If you exercise, you got to eat more. So I started walking. That was about all I could do at that point. I'd go out and walk a mile. And then slowly but surely I was walking faster, and then I started running a little bit. And by the fall of that year, I was going out and doing a couple mile runs. And then somebody from church, right around the time of Thanksgiving, said, "Hey, why don't you do the turkey trot with my team?" And I didn't think about it at the time, but that was like the first kind of community thing. Like, there's the whole concept of connect. It's I think if that person hadn't reached out, who knows where I would have ended up, right? It was my entree into a community of people who race. I guess in 2013, I started training with someone and actually kind of committed to running a marathon. And I knew I needed some sort of training help on that. So, again, it was out there just about finishing the race. One of the things my trainer always said there was 3 levels. Either you're going to complete something, you're going to compete, or you're going to perform. And for that race, I made the commitment to perform. And I think it comes down to you have to make that decision when you decide to train, and then stick with it. Being an engineer, the data is everything to me. I often get accused of getting lost in the data sometimes, but I can look at that data afterwards, and it shows. If I push too hard, the heart rate goes up too high. If I'm loafing, you can tell. And it's just, to me, the data is really interesting. Going into Steamtown, which was in 2015, that was, the first one I really trained hard for. Had a calf injury like 2 weeks beforehand. And as any runner will tell you, some of that's psychological. It's worse than it is because you're 2 weeks out from a big race you've been training for. But it was a real injury, and I came and got treatment. I think twice. Between the running group and PT and the exercise class, it all fits hand in hand.
If there is anything that you're looking forward to in the RISE community, what are you most looking forward to?
I think it's the combination of kind of what I already have in a physical sense, right? But the RISE community is going to be a virtual community, so I think it's going to be interesting to kind of meld those two things together